Flawless. Yeah. Right, Joe, going to go on now. Hello, everybody. Hope you're all doing fantastically well. It's Connor. We're here with your instant match reaction. We're going to be back after this with the debrief. So make sure you're chatting in on that one, chiming in, I should say. Leeds United with another win under their belts. I'd just like to shout out Ricky again. I'd like to shout out Jason Collins, new members of the channel. You can become a new member, everybody. We're scything towards 200 members already, which is incredible. £2 a month. And then, or you can go on for the Patreon as well, £4 a month. We've had 3 podcasts out this week. I'm going to have a bonus video immediately after this as well. Leeds United getting another win today, 2-0. Really impressive from the Whites, going down to Plymouth. And what a run it's been. What an absolute run it's been for the Whites. Bristol away, Cardiff away, Swansea away, Plymouth away twice. It's been an absolute assault on the travelling Leeds United fans. It's been a little bit easier on the players, but mentally, that'll never be easy. 1,500 miles and plus. The EFL have well and truly effed us when it's come to these away fixtures, but they were just showing our fixtures on the sort of on the list now, and Leeds United are in a really good vein of form when it comes to fixtures coming up. We've got Leicester, which is massive. Why can't we get the win? Why can't we get the win? We've beaten them before. We've got the most clean sheets in the division. We've got the best defence in the division, and they're not as good away from home as they are at home. It's probably quite similar to Leeds United, but the beauty of what we're doing now is we're building up that reputation away from home. Leeds, where I questioned them for being inconsistent, have now got wins on the road everywhere. We're doing a really, really good job. We're third in the away form table as we speak right now. We've just gone above Southampton. And to say where we were in terms of that away form, we faltered at Stoke, didn't we? We faltered at Sunderland. We were uninspiring at Preston, and we were absolutely downright rubbish against West Bromwich Albion. And to turn all that around, and then in our next 6 games, to have 4 teams below 19th position in the table coming up is an absolute godsend. So I'm really, really happy with what I've seen there. I didn't like a 15-minute spell. There was a 15, 20-minute spell where I was thinking, oh, God, what is going on here? This isn't good enough. They're getting into it. And I tell you what, fair play to Plymouth. We're talking Swansea. We're talking Cardiff. We're talking Bristol City. Playing out from the back, they're the best team I've seen in a long time. Best team I've seen in a long time. And the problem is you had that thing in the back of your head. Guess what? They've got back into it against us before, twice. We've struggled in normal time against Plymouth. It's been abundantly obvious. They've scored against us. They've scored 38 goals at home this season, only second to Leicester. So they're flying at home, Plymouth, not been beaten since October. So for us to go there, get a win, keep them down to 0 when it's come to a clean sheet is a fantastic achievement for the Whites. It's another win on the road. As I said, there was a spell in the game for me where I wasn't happy. I was thinking, oh, God, here we go. We lost control. The defence, in my opinion, Joe Rodon was trying to do the job of the midfield, which was to get the ball and meander through that middle passage. The midfield, in my opinion, Gruev and Kamara for a portion of the game were not in it. They were not getting involved, and I thought you had the likes of Randall really starting to dictate possession in and around that midfield spot. I thought he played really, really well. But Plymouth's job today was to play out from the back, but it was to rattle Leeds United. It was simply to rattle Leeds, and they did to a large portion of it. The referee was once again absolutely atrocious. He gave a penalty at the end, a ghost penalty. It was as if Dan James had gone down. There was a little bit of a tug of Dan James's shirt, but that was in my opinion, on the edge of the box, and then he was brought down in the box. The ref gave a foul. It should have been a penalty. It wasn't a penalty. It was a free kick a yard outside the box. Bizarre. But once again, EFL officiating at its absolute finest. And he was giving everything really to Plymouth when it came to them just going down. And it's another easy option for the referee every single time. So, shout out to Richard, who's in the building, a new YouTube member. Shout out to you, my friend. You can become a YouTube member. We had 3 in this stream. 3 goals conceded in the last 11 games, says Mattis. That is incredible. We have to say 69 points. Please give Glenn Kamara his due, please. Yeah, we will. Glenn Kamara, for me, in the second half in particular, really came into the game. And I thought he was our driving force in horrible conditions, really. He was our driving force. He was our best player in that second half. And overall, I thought we really were able to sort of grind everything down. And in that second half, when we got that second goal, it was it. And fair play to Rutter. I didn't think he had his best game. I didn't agree with the player of the match. I think, once again, it's Sky just doing the lazy sort of thing of, he's got an assist and he scored a goal, so we'll give him the player of the match. I thought the player of the match had to go to either one of 2 people, either Joe Rodon and or Glenn Kamara, in my opinion. Even though I felt that the midfield didn't get to grips with it as much, I didn't think, if I'm honest with you guys, that Gruev was good today. However, saw through the game a slight improvement from Joel Perreault, especially that lovely ball to Rutter, him dropping into that 10 position and playing that ball through to Rutter. Now, once again, we did see that thing happening again today, didn't we? Exactly what we were calling on the preview show. It was always going to happen that way, where Perreault is dropping deep, and who was the furthest man forward every single time? It's Rutter. Will that become a problem later on down the line? I don't think it will. But overall, you do see that when Rutter and Perreault play together, instead of just having a number 9 up there, a Joseph, a Bamford, instead of actually having a 9 up there, you do have these 2 sort of fluttering between positions. So, yeah, that's something we have to consider when we have him up top. It is just that difference. Kim says, hit the like for the best Leeds fan YouTuber. Thank you so much, Kim. Thanks for that, mate. Ronan reminds me myself when I was in my 20s, I was losing my hair as well. Fair enough, mate. Great run. Fark will be more than pleased. At 3rd away match this week. Got the job done comfortably. And yes, those players were great. Joe's in the building. Hiya, mate. Another clean sheet. JC is in the building as well. Afternoon, Connor. Fantastic result. I'd agree with you, mate. Rutter had a bit of a bad day at the office, except the goal. Yeah, 100%. And Paul says 4 games in 10 days plus all the travelling would have made us a little bit lagging. You look at the pitch, you look at some of the performances today, which were, sort of a Rutter sluggishness in a sense, and yeah, I did think it was Somerville as well who were a little bit off it, if I'm honest with you. But I do think Leeds grinded it out and were brilliant at the end. We just showed our class. And as I said, this is a Plymouth team. It's a very, very good Plymouth team. So let's not sort of ignore that fact. 2 minutes, everyone. Sorry, guys. Thought I just heard someone at the door. Grounded out the win today. You are all good. Yeah, 4 games in 10 days. Reckon the boys even train? I don't know, mate, to be quite honest with you. It's interesting, though, when you're looking at it, isn't it? Kamara was awful. Has been for the first 5 or 6 games compared to the first. Really, Marcus, it's funny how football works, isn't it, mate? I completely disagree with you there. I thought he was good in that second half. I thought he was the driving force in that midfield. I thought there was a problem in the first half when you're seeing Rodon carve through that midfield, almost Ben White-esque. I want to see him do that more, be proactive on the ball and move through the midfield. But the reason he's doing that is because the midfield was completely nullified by Plymouth in that first half in terms of dictating any play, because you're getting Gruev almost playing in that sweeper role, breaking the centre-back too, and you've seen Kamara get on the ball in that 8 position a lot. Plymouth did really, really well in neutralising those 2 players. So what was the option then? Joe Rodon coming through that midfield. He had to do it to get Leeds up the pitch because the midfield too weren't able to get on the ball. So that's the tactical sort of imprint that Leeds had on the ball. But I thought Plymouth, listen, it's a really good win that for Leeds. A really, really good win for that today. I fully believe Ipswich are going to beat Swansea, especially after what we saw midweek. And this is going to go down to the wire. But guess what, everybody? Guess what? It's in our hands. Why is it in our hands? It's in our hands because Leeds United, we win every single game going in. We're up. We're completely up. And I thoroughly believe we're good enough to beat Leicester. We're good enough to beat them. They're not. They are, for me, we're a better team than they are. We're much better. We've got a better defence than they have right now as well. As I've mentioned previously, they're not as good away from home as they are at home, as I've mentioned, similarly to us, but I'm not afraid of them whatsoever. I'm not afraid of them whatsoever. I think we can beat Leicester on Friday night, and at home as well. We've got a real advantage now, a real advantage. Ipswich have got a real good run of fixtures. I will say that. But yeah, let's wait and see on that one. Muckanor says Melee go on. I thought it was one of his best games, Mucker. I thought it was one of his best games. I thought there was one palm out where I thought to myself, I don't really know what he's doing there, where he should have maybe just like grappled hold of that ball. But yeah, I think, listen, overall, it was a really top performance from Ilan Melier. I thought they were trying to put the ball on him as well a lot, which, we've got to look at and think that teams are using that as a weakness, just putting the ball on. Ilan Melier came out, he was strong. There was one occasion as well where they played the ball back in again and he was able to catch it, and it was a really, really good collect from the Frenchman. So listen, everybody, we're going to be going live right now on the debrief, so join me over there. There's over 410 of you in the building. Make sure you slap a like on this stream as well. Come back to this, but let's go over now and have a chat on the debrief, everybody. I'll see you in a sec. Cheers.